Hello everyone, Thempire here with more new cards. Today we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of new Performage cards for the Animation Chronicle, but first we have a new Blue Eyes card. Yay, Blue Eyes! But actually this one's a little bit more interesting than normal. You see, this is Blue Eyes of the Heart, or the Spirit Successor Blue Eyes, or whatever. This is the fourth Blue Eyes White Dragon that Grandpa owned. In fact, it's a Millennium card instead of a Blue Eyes card. It's still a Blue Eyes card, but it's a Millennium card as well. You can only use the first effect once per turn. You can only use the third effect of this card once during a duel where you have activated Millennium Ankh. So it's a once per duel and you have to have activated Millennium Ankh. The restrictions are getting a little specific, but that's probably for the best. We probably need that kind of stuff these days. You could discard this card, add a Millennium Ankh from your deck to your hand. That's incredible. Millennium Ankh is a very powerful card for that deck, and adding more search power for it, really nice. Position of this card cannot be switched. This is a reference to the fact that Kaiba is not able to use Grandpa's Blue Eyes because it doesn't like him. If your opponent normal or special summons a monster with 3,000 more attack while this card is in the graveyard, you can send it to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card. So it's also removal. That's neat. This is actually a pretty decent card. It is a searcher and it's removal. So, but it's only removal on summon, so it's not actually going to be very good going second. But it's still a search card, so you probably still want to play it because it searches Millennium Ankh, which is like the most important part of the deck. Gets out your big boss monster. But this card's pretty cool, honestly. I like this a lot more than you just like more Blue Eyes, Blue Eyes, Blue Eyes. Adding the fourth Blue Eyes in as like its own thing is fun, I think. But that's not the main event. We have 8 new Performage cards and an errata. So let's check those out. First up, we have this lady. Cute. Performage Fire Dancer. Pendulum effect, you can target one Performage monster you control this turn. If it attacks a monster in defense position, inflict piercing battle damage. Sure. You'll use the monster effect once per turn. This card is normal special summon. You can add a Performage monster from your deck to your hand except for Fire Dancer. Seems alright. Seems pretty decent. This card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect. You can target one face-up monster on the field. It gains 500 attack. Okay, that's not very good. But the first effect's decent, so probably playable. Another cute one. Water Dancer. You only use each of the pendulum effects of this card once per turn, 1 and 2. They worded that really strangely. If you control a Performage monster, you can summon this card. That's pretty good. Just like from the pendulum scale. When a monster declares an attack, you can target one monster on the field in attack position, change it to defense position. Bad. But the first effect's good, so. As this card is Pendulum Summon, you can add a Polymerization from your deck to or grave to your hand. That's interesting, but it seems like you're going to be summoning it off of its other effect. If this card on the field is destroy a battle or card effect, you could target one monster in the field in attack position, change the defense position. But you could summon it off of that effect, use it to extend, and then Pendulum Summon it to the field from the extra deck. So that's something potentially interesting. A little girl. Performage Windsucker, a level 5 win. Not so little. Once per turn, you can target one Performage monster you control and then choose one of these effects. Increases level by 1, increases card's pendulum scale by the target's pendulum scale. Okay, that could come up, I guess. You can only use the first monster effect once per turn. If only your opponent controls a monster, or if you control a Performage monster, you can summon this card from your hand, but you cannot summon monsters from the rest of in the monster zone except for Performage monsters. If this card is special summon, you can decrease its level by 1, so that makes it a 4, so you can go into your rank 4 stuff. The Performages are known to do. Once per turn, you can make all level 4 Performage monsters you control become level 5. Oh, okay. Sure. I think that gets you access to, it's time once again. I really need to get better at just having, Edo Pro up when I start these videos. Time to look at I imagine this is for the Chaos rank up stuff. Performage. Oop, I'm misspelling that. Performage. Trapeze Magician. It has a rank up, I'm sure. Maybe? I don't know. There's probably some reason to go into 5s. Cup Tricker. Hold up. I saw someone talking about 104. I think, is this what they're talking about? Umbral Horror Masquerade. So you could go into Masquerade with 3 level 4 monsters, which this can do pretty easily, and then go into Umbral Horror Masquerade, which is decent. it's like a fine card. It does require 4 level 5 monsters, which the deck can do, but it seems like a waste of resources. All right, level 5 light monster cup tricker. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. You can target one Performage monster you control, Xyz monster you control, attach this card to it as material. If a card is added to your extra deck, you can add one face-up Performage pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. That's interesting. That might come up. I don't know. You can only use each of this effect once per turn. If this card is in your hand, you can target one Xyz monster on the field, detach one of its materials. If you do special summon this card, and then one Xyz monster on the field loses a 600 attack. Interesting that you can use your opponent's stuff for this. A lot of the Xyz cards are kind of doing this now. It's definitely an interesting thing to do. I think it's a little disappointing because it just makes all Xyz decks weaker. Like, it's making these Xyz decks stronger, but it's also making them weaker against each other. I don't know how to feel about it, because I don't think Xyz decks need to be weaker at this point. If this card is detached and sent to the graveyard to activate the effect of an Xyz monster, you can target 2 Xyz monsters you control, attach one to the other. Sure. Alright, here's a fusion for our polymerization, Trapeze Force Witch. 2 Performage monsters. Performage monster you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Or by your card effects, sorry. Also, they cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. Okay, so you're protected from your card effects and then prevented from targeting by your opponent. While you control other Performage monsters, except for Performage Trapeze Force Witch, your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for an attack. Okay. It has okay stats. When your Performage monster declares an attack on an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can make the opponent's monster lose 600 attack. Okay. This is nothing. This is like so nothing. Ugh. Here's a rank 5. Performage Painter Shadowmaker. This better be worth it. You can only use each of the first and second or third effects of this card once per turn. 1. You can detach one material from this card, send a Performage monster from deck to grave, add a rank up magic spell from deck to hand. Wow, that's really good. There's plenty of good. There's Clown. You get the Clown and grave, and then you get a rank up magic. That makes it a little easier to get into Umbral Masquerade if you wanted, or any other number of rank up magic stuff you could do. Yeah, that's cool. When this card is targeted by an effect, you can detach a material from this card, special summon a Performage Painter Shadowmaker from your extra deck. Whoa, that's weird. And that's not a once per turn either. You can get both of them out, but it has to be targeted first, which means that this has anti-synergy with it. If all materials are detached from this card, you can special summon a Performage monster from your graveyard. That's a once per turn. At least. That's good. That's actually really interesting. Alright, and then we have Trapeze High Magician. Performage Trapeze High Magician. 2 level 5 spellcaster monsters, another level 5 or rank 5 to go into. This card with material cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Sure. If you take effective if you would have take effective damage, inflicted to your opponent instead. You can only play this effect a number of times per turn, up to the number of this card's current Xyz material. Oh, okay. Interesting. But that does mean that Clown is free. Trick Clown is a free thing now. Instead of taking the 1000 damage, you inflict it to your opponent instead. Because that's the thing about Performage Trick Clown, is that unlike a lot of cards, you don't pay, you take the damage. If this card has Performage Trapeze Magician as material, it gains the following effect. You can detach a material from this card. During each battle phase this turn, this card can make up to 3 attacks. Okay, and you can use a rank up magic to get Trapeze Magician into Trapeze High Magician instead of doing it the hard way. Oh, and they have a new rank up magic too to use. Rank up magic Magical Force, a quick play spell. You can only activate this card once per turn. Only once per turn. And then you could target one rank 4 spellcaster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. And if you do special summon a rank 5 spellcaster monster for your extra deck using it as material, and if you do attach this card to the special summon monster. Okay, so it gets the two materials because it gets the rank up magic as material and the Performage Trapeze Magician. In Performage Trapeze Magician, you never take damage if the amount is less than or equal to this card's attack. Okay, once per turn during either player's main phase, you can detach a material from this card and target one face-up attack with a monster each turn player controls. It can make a second attack during the battle phase, also destroyed during the end of battle phase. This card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, or if this card is in your possession, destroyed by opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard. You can special summon a Performage monster from the deck. Okay. So, you can use that. I guess the idea behind... it's like you can use that, and oh, actually, yeah, this card protects your Performage Trapeze Magician from being destroyed by its own effect, or whatever you use to attack. Oh, we've got an errata on plushfire. You can only use this monster's effect once per turn. So plushfire is coming back. That's probably fine. I think that's probably fine. Which one is getting... Oh, monster effect. The monster effect was once per turn now. Okay, so the monster effect is if this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you special summon a Performage monster from a hand or deck, except for Performage plushfire. Yeah, I think if you put a once per turn on that, that's probably fine. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. So what do we think of these? I don't think very much of them, honestly. There's some really good starters in here. I just don't see what the payoff is. It is Pendulum, so there's probably something interesting you can do with it, right? You could bring Pepe back. Performapal Pendulum. Performapal, Performage, Pendulum guys. Do something with them, maybe? I genuinely don't know what you would do with them at this point. Like, do you just combo? I guess none of this locks you. Wait, there's one thing that locks you, right? There's exactly one thing that locks you. This one. Windsucker locks you into Performage monsters. I would simply just not use that card then, perhaps. Like, these extra deck cards, I don't think you do anything with them, right? Other than, I could probably use Performage Painter Shadowmaker, maybe. But to do that, you're going to need to use the one that locks you into Performage monsters, right? So you can get the 5s. Because otherwise there's no way you're making this guy in Performage. And I don't think these cards are good enough to be worth that. Like, you can't even do the Umbral Horror thing I was talking about. That's not a Performage. So the only thing you can rank up into is Performage Trapeze High Magician. Or I guess another copy of this fucker. I don't know. Maybe there's some other way to get into it. I think if you could figure out a way to get into Shadowmaker, that's going to be the key. Because it seems like a good card just on its own. And then it can pull out more copies of itself. Which is interesting. But only if it's targeted by an effect. But it doesn't have to be targeted by your opponent's effect. It can be targeted by any effect. So if you target it somehow, that could be good. It's got 2600 attack. That could be good for closing out a game too. But I'm also thinking of like how you can use multiple, because there's no once per turn on that. So if you can summon out multiple pieces, you can use it for link monster material. Yeah, I just don't know what they like expect you to do with all this. Because the lock, like if it didn't have the lock on the level 5 guy, I would say like, oh yeah, a lot of this new stuff could be really useful. But I think because it doesn't have that, the only thing that's going to be useful is the fact that that plushfire is back, and this fire dancer one. Maybe the water dancer too. I don't know. It seems like an odd choice. Like that. I just don't see it. Like as much as I like look at it, I'm like, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, I just don't see it. But maybe you do. Maybe you have the combo. Maybe you have the secret combo that nobody else has figured out to get level 5s on field. Because that's the thing. That's like literally, I think that's the one thing. Like if you can get level 5s, 3 level 5s on field to make this guy without having to go into the lock or having to use a rank up magic, I think you've got it. Like you've unlocked the secrets of this deck. But until you can do that, the deck doesn't do anything. Or it does exactly one thing, which is make this guy, who isn't strong enough to support the deck on its own, I don't think. Is it just like, because it can make 3 attacks if it has Trapeze Magician as material. Is the idea just to OTK? Why is this like the thing that we do with legacy support? Like, this deck isn't strong enough to compete, so what we did is we made it an OTK deck. Like, what? That doesn't make it better. You've not done anything. I don't know. I could be missing something, because there's so many Performage cards. There's so many Performage cards. Although, not as many as you would think. But they work well with the Performapal stuff. And there's tons of Performapal stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe there's something here. Maybe there's not. Why don't you let me know in the comments below, and we can maybe figure out what's going on with this deck. And let me know what you think about the Blue Eyes card too. I think that one's really cool. And maybe I think there's something to the Exodia deck, maybe just a little bit of sauce to the Exodia deck. I think it's kind of got something. I don't know. It seems fun to me. Maybe not great, but it seems fun. And this stuff has potential. Maybe depending on if you can find a way to break it. There's like something there to break, but you gotta find it. Is the thing I'm seeing. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see ya in the next one. Bye. Hey there, thanks for watching another video. Why don't you give it a like, share it around, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for notifications. You know, the YouTube stuff. You can also follow me on Twitch and Twitter for more content. I got content plenty for ya. You can also support the channel by giving me money. You have a Patreon. If you join the Patreon, you can show up in the credits over here. I would really appreciate that. You could also use my TCG Player affiliate link to get any single, sealed product, or accessories that you want, all to supporting the channel at the same time. That's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful rest of whatever time it is for you. Bye now!